Hey guys, we are back with some more Halifax Tugboats GM mode or franchise mode, whatever you want to call it. And last time I said we left off at the trade deadline. I said that we should probably make a change. Now, I mentioned that we should probably get a like a top six first line forward sort of thing. But here's the thing: like we don't have the asset like we don't have the assets that I want to give away to get that first line forward. So here's what I was thinking, and this could be, beneficial and it could be the downfall of this team. But here's what I was thinking. I was going to make a trade to the Arizona Coyotes. Now, they do have a winning record. Their status says rebuilder, though, so I'm not sure how that works. But what I was planning on doing, I was going to trade for Martin Hansel and for a defenseman, Luke Shen. Now, here's why. Now, notice Martin Hansel's potential is bottom six forward. So that means he's going to end up dropping after this year regardless. So what I was thinking was put him on the fourth line where Carlson currently is, and then have him on the first line penalty kill since he's solid defensively and very nice physical player. He's a third line checking forward, even though he's an 86 overall. And again, his potential is bottom six, so he's probably going to drop this year. And he's better offensively, actually, I believe, than Carlson. And then when you compare Shen to the guy I want to trade, David Savard, he has a +9 on the year. And his role is a top six defenseman, so we can put him next to Harrington and move Murray up to the top four. Now, yeah, Shen is obviously a lower overall than Savard. However, if you take a look at Savard, he actually he's been nothing but a dud for us so far defensively. The 3 years we've been here, -17, -12, -11. He's barely getting any points. So you know what? His time here in Halifax is up. So it's time to trade him. And I mean, when you compare Savard to a guy like Harrington, who's only an 83 overall defensive defenseman, and +17 on the year, like that's got to say something about Savard. And Savard, it's not like Savard's not playing with is playing with someone who doesn't get points either. He's playing with Derek Pouliot. He's got 7 goals and 23 assists. I mean, I know Pouliot's a -7, but I mean, come on, like if you have someone like that next to you, and then you have the forward core that we have, and then you have the goaltender that we have, like he shouldn't be, he shouldn't have that low of a defensive of a plus minus like 3 years in a row. There's no way that's that's reasonable. So we are definitely trading Savard, and obviously the other person I want to trade since we are replacing him is William Karlsson. Now they don't want Karlsson, but he's a younger guy. He's a younger center, so. And the way I see it, the Arizona Coyotes were going to be shipping out Martin Hansel soon anyway because of the fact that he's on a bottom six potential. Now, yeah, you may think that's quite the salary. So we are going to make them retain 50% of his salary for the next 2 years. So we get him for 1.477 as a fourth liner and first line penalty killer. And we're going to take 15% off of Luke Shen's salary. So hopefully that helps out the deal. And obviously this probably honestly won't go through as it is because they don't want to give up Shen, they don't want to give up Hansel, they don't want Karlsson. The only thing is here, I'm thinking, if we trade Savard, maybe maybe the Arizona Coyotes benefit from this because, Savard's an 87 overall and maybe he plays well with Oliver Ekman-Larsson or someone like that. He just needs a change of scenery. So, and my hope is that Hansel can really anchor down the fourth line and that Shen can perform the same way that he has in Arizona. And obviously, Karlsson, I mean, I don't exactly want to trade him, but when you look at his defensive category and physical category, it just doesn't match up to what we need it to be as a fourth liner. So, and he still has potential. So, I mean, and the Arizona Coyotes could probably use that. So, I mean, again, even though they have a winning record, it's still, a little bit more value in their favor. And we're also going to add a third just so that we can get this deal locked down. I'm going to see if we can get a fourth out of this for this year, so that we're getting at least some value back, and they want to give up the fourth. So, I mean, this trade, it honestly makes sense to me. It really does, because, okay, so Savard, he obviously, he needs a change of scenery, right? So, that's one. He's been apparently toxic to our locker room for the past 3 years, I guess. And then Carlson, as I said, he's just not up to snuff defensively where it needs to be. And then Hansel, the Coyotes were probably going to move him out, I'm guessing, after this year anyway. And then Shen, well, he's just sort of in there to replace Savard. So, assuming this works out for Arizona, the Coyotes get a better defenseman in Savard, and we get a better forward in Hansel temporarily, because obviously with his potential, he's not going to be on our team for too long. But it's going to be a trade so that we can make that push for the playoffs, because I figure, hey, if we can't make a trade for a superstar for the first line, why not, increase our depth even more on forward? And, I think the fact that Hansel's really good defensively and physically makes up for the fact that we're getting an 84 overall in Shen. And Shen's no joke defensively either. He's a 4.5 star for defense and 4.5 star for physical. So really, I mean, and he's actually better than Savard physically. So really, I'm not seeing any loss here for either team. So this could really benefit both teams in both ways. I mean, obviously, it's only time will tell, but I think this is a great trade. Proposed trade. Let's see if it goes through. Rejected. Okay. We are not interested in keeping the amount of salary. Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. So what if they only retain like 45? Would that work? I have a feeling they're saying no because of Shen, but we'll try that. Rejected. Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll take the salary off of Shen, because I mean, 3.425 for an 84 overall defenseman isn't bad. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put Hansel back up to 50. Will that work? Very nice. Okay, so we got Martin Hansel, and we got Luke Shen in place of a apparently toxic David Savard and William Karlsson, who was just not up to playing. So, yeah, there you go. Okay, fair enough. Hansel's an 84. So that was probably morale that was bringing him up to an 86, but still. I mean, very, very solid fourth liner. And as to why I'm not putting him on the third line rather than Hudon has a much better offensive category. Well, not better than Hansel, but his defensive category isn't as great as Hansel's. So that's why I'm keeping Hudon on that third line. Maybe he can help get some goals there. So I'm hoping this works out for us, boys, because that's the only trade I'm making. Let's see. Center, Hansel, substitute in all lines. Yeah, that actually looks pretty nice. And then defensively, we're going to move Murray up with Pouliot, and then Harrington on the left with Shen. There you go. All right, so now we have that shutdown pair with Harrington and Shen. Then we have Murray and Pouliot, and then Letty and Jones. So that's actually pretty nice. And also, we don't have to worry about keeping Murray on the first line power play, although our power play is, in fact, like I think 21% or something like that. So I'm going to leave the power play the way it is. Penalty kill, though. Yeah, Hansel's there. I want to switch him to the first line so he gets some time. Okay, that's good. That's good. And then 3-man penalty kill as well. There you go. And yeah, Shen's actually already on there. That's exactly where. You know what? Actually, no, I want to put Jones on the first line, just so he can grow a bit more, if he still has growth in him. Yeah, because he's still medium elite. He's got room to grow. So is that it? I think so. Yeah, that looks to be about it. So we got even more depth on forward now. I mean, that makes that fourth line much better. Because I feel like Karlsson was sort of just not playing well. Well, he was playing well with these guys because he was getting points, but he wasn't holding it down defensively like the fourth line needs to. I'm hoping that Hansel can do that. And then I'm hoping that Hudon could get some more points with Atkinson and Dubois. Now, I know that doesn't solve the problem of our first line not pitching in, but I feel like if we get more depth goal scoring and more depth defense at forward, then that'll hopefully make up for it, you know? And there is a change that I have in mind that we can do after the trade deadline that obviously doesn't involve a trade. I was thinking of moving Atkinson up to the first line, and then instead of breaking up that second line, because that's the only thing offensively we have going for us right now. And if Saad is going to be on the third line, then I would give him first line penalty kill time with Hansel. And then instead of Jenner, I would actually take Dubois off the power play and put Jenner there with Hudon, and then put what's his name, Brendan Saad. But we're not going to do that right now because I want to see how this change works. If not, like again, we do what we need to do to keep this team rolling, because man, right now, like we're really relying on our insane amount of depth here to make a push for the playoffs, because there was no first line forward that I could find that would have fit into the future or even short term. So, and there was not a whole lot of trade value on our way that we wanted to give up either. It's just it wasn't a thing that was going to happen, at least not right now. So that's the best I could do, at least trade wise, and we got the possibly the lowest plus minus defenseman on our team out of here, so that's good. And don't forget, like Harrington's a plus 17. Shen we traded for is plus 9 on the year so far. Murray's a plus 8. Puglia, I mean, yeah, he's a minus 7, but still, that was playing with Savard. Jones is a plus 5, and I mean, fair enough. Letty is a minus 4, but he's getting points, so I have no problem with that. And also, 88 overall defenseman at that contract, like, yes, please. Like, you're not going to find that in a veteran defenseman anywhere in the league, I don't think, besides here. And then, obviously, we got the 90 and 85 tandem in net, so hopefully that works out for us. I know I'm taking a huge gamble with that, boys, but that's really the only change I could think of that would make any sort of sense. Because I mean, the Coyotes wanted Savard because they're making a playoff push, and you know, if Savard can play well with Oliver Ekman-Larsson, that would be a very nice combo that they have on their second defensive pairing there, or first defensive pairing rather. So with that, let's finally get the season simulation back underway. We are like 13 minutes into this video. I spent a lot of time talking, I know. But that's the only trade we're going to make. And you know what? I'm going to take this like 2 weeks at a time because, again, I want to see how we perform here. Yeah, we'll go up to this game against Winnipeg here because I really want to see how these lines will. Oof, not a good first showing, boys. 7-4 against the Rangers. Come on now, boys. Washington. 2-1 overtime loss. All right, so this trade is not panning out to be good for us so far. I'm not liking that. Come on, boys. Yeah, get these ticket prices up there a bit. Marketing budget, yep. Game ticket, you know what, I'm going to decrease that a little bit to 40 and put the season ticket advertising a bit up there. Come on. Work with me here. Controller, and put that up there. Very nice. Save budget. Okay. Come on, boys. Gel back together. I know you can. There you go. 2-0 win. We should have a much better team now. Depth-wise, anyway. Because, I mean, Savard, he just wasn't getting it done. So, he had to be traded. Oh, my God. 6-3. Oh, my God. 6-3. Oh, hold on here a second, boys. Maybe that wasn't the right trade. I mean, I told you guys I was taking a gamble, and maybe I gambled wrong because, oh man, that's not ideal. We're out of a playoff spot now. Oh, that's brutal. That is brutal, and we're past the trade deadline. I think I'm gonna make that change, boys. I think I'm gonna make that change with Atkinson and Saad. Yeah, you know what? I have to because. Maybe putting Saad on the third line will help Dubois and Hudon out a bit. And, I mean, when you look at Atkinson's offensive stats, they're actually better. They're not more well-rounded than Saad's are, but his puck skills are great. So I'm going to try Atkinson, Duchesne, and Bjorkstrand. And then I'm not touching that second line. That's the only thing we have going for us so far. And I'm going to try putting... Should I try putting Dubois on the right wing since he's got that nasty shot? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to try that. And then put Saad on the left. And then for the penalty kill, which I don't believe has been killing it since we've been getting so many goals against, I'm going to move down... yeah, I'm going to move down Jenner there and then put Saad there. There you go. All right. Hopefully that can do it for us because, man, and you know what? I'm going to switch Shen back up to the first line. We need defensive defensemen up there along with Ryan Murray. There you go. Hopefully that works out. If not, then we miss the playoffs. And I take some of the heat because, yeah, I mean, a trade's always a gamble, boys, but that one in particular was kind of because we traded for 2 veterans, and the point of that trade was to make the playoffs. So come on now, boys. There you go. Nice win against Winnipeg. Boston, come on now. Come on now. Don't make me look like a goof. 2-0. Not good, boys. Not good at all. Where was I scouting? QMJHL, I guess. For forwards, was I doing? Or was it defenseman? It might have been defenseman. You know what? I'm just going forwards. Whatever. Gonna have to reevaluate our roster after this season, especially if we don't make the playoffs. Come on, boys. Shootout loss. Every point matters here, boys. Come on. Let's go, boys. Versus Edmonton. 8-3 win. Very nice. Come on now. Get me a win here. There you go. 3-1. We're starting to gel a little bit more. 1-0. Just as I say it. But, I mean, at least a 1-0 loss isn't that bad when you compare it to the other losses, but it's still a loss. And we need to get in the playoffs. Come on, boys. We need points. There you go. 4-3 shootout loss against the Western Conference, or shootout win, excuse me, against a Western Conference team. Come on, against New York. 3-1, 3-0 loss. Oh my God. Come on, boys. Oh, this is going to be edgy. This is going to be edgy. Oh, especially in our division. Let's check it out. So far, we are not in a playoff spot. Oh, look how tight it is, boys. Look how tight it is. The race for third. The New York Islanders and the New York Rangers have started to pull away, but man, anything goes for third, fourth, and fifth in the division. And don't forget, the Atlantic Division is pretty weak this year, so we are likely to have 2 wild cards here in the Metropolitan. Come on, boys. These last few games are critical. And actually, you know what? Let's check out the points while we're at it, while we're on the screen. Wenberg, 59. Yeah, like that's why I didn't want to break up the second line, boys. Wenberg and Yakupov, they're the only thing we have going for us right now. Jenner started to slow down a bit. Atkinson started to get a lot of points, so that's actually good. Maybe it's a good thing we moved him up to the first, like, yeah, because Saad, like, he hasn't done much point-wise in terms of what he's expected to do. I mean, I know he's the captain, boys, but you know what? He understands that any move I do, coaching decision-wise, is for the good of the team. He understands. Yeah, he's a good old American. He understands that, you know, any move that is made is for the team. So he's all right with playing on that third line as long as he gets. Yeah, see, I mean, well, fair enough. But his only lost morale has been from individual performance, right? Not from ice time. So, yeah, he actually gained morale because of ice time. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if that was before the trade deadline. That might have been before the trade deadline, but when we moved him, yeah, I don't know. But regardless, he's all right with it. He's still really happy. So, no problem there. Shen, I mean, he stayed +9, boys. That trade has worked out for us so far with Luke Shen. And it hasn't affected Harrington either. So that 1-2 duo of Shen and Harrington has done wonders for us so far, it appears, because they haven't changed a bit ± wise. Fourth line, let's see how Hansel's doing. He's at a +4. I mean, it appears like he's got better morale now as well. He's an 85. I don't know how many points he had in Arizona. Oh, hold on. Where's Hansel? There you are. Again, I don't know how many points he had in Arizona, but he appears to be anchoring down that fourth line quite nicely. I mean, it hasn't been too long since we got him. It's only been about 7 or so, or like 17 games or so. But again, Atkinson is getting a lot more points. So again, I feel like that kind of worked. That change worked, especially since that's the way our power play is, like pretty much how our top 6 is. So maybe that was a good change. Maybe that was a bad change. I don't know. We'll see within the next 3 games whether that was a good trade or not. I really, really hope it was. You know what? Since these next 3 games are so important, I'm going to do a slow sim on all 3 of them. Because this is pretty much the playoffs on the line. And we had no other options but to make that trade, man. David Savard, he needed to be traded anyway. So, first period against Detroit. Here we go. There you go. Wenberg coming up close. Close. Clutch. I'm so tired. Okay. Second period. Here we go. Very nice. 1-0 still. Detroit is actually out shooting us by a little. 17-15. Come on, boys. Third period. All right. There you go. I saw Svechnikov right there. I was like, oh, no. But then Hudon, actually before him, got us to a 2-0 lead. So there you go. We are still in the playoff race, I would imagine. But then again, we also need some luck from our division rivals losing their own games to get in that playoff spot. If they win the rest of their games, we're out of the playoffs. So we need to win these games, these next 2 games here, and we have to hope that our rivals lost a couple. So here we go. First period. All right, there. I'll take it. Brassard for the Ottawa Senators, but then Josh Anderson, of all people, cleaning up in, well, not in the crease, but in the low slot area. Second period. Bobby Ryan. Come on, boys. I'm not liking this. I'm going to do a slow third period here. Increase sim speed. Come on, boys. Come on, Halifax. We need this. This is for the playoffs. This is for the playoffs, boys. We're out shooting them like crazy. 33-24. Come on, Halifax. Come on, Halifax. This is for the playoffs. This is for the playoffs. Oh, I'm not liking it. Ah, my God. 2-1. That really hurts. That really hurts. We're gonna have to hope for a miracle here, boys. Honestly, I'm thinking. All right, please don't let Carolina be a loss. Please don't let Carolina be a loss. I wonder if a message is gonna pop up saying we've already got out of the playoffs. It doesn't appear that way. Are we currently in? No, we're tied with Pittsburgh. Wow. Okay, it's come down to the wire here, boys. How many games does Pittsburgh have left? Do they have 1 left or are they finished? Pittsburgh, they still have 1 left. Okay, so if they win, they're in the playoffs because their regulation plus overtime wins are more than ours. All right, boys, it's coming down to this game. If we even lose this game in overtime, we're done. I'm calling it. We have to hope that Pittsburgh doesn't win their game, and we have to hope that we win ours against the Carolina Hurricanes here. So we're going to simulate this last game. Slow simulation, the whole game. So goals, increase sim speed. Come on, boys. There you go. Yakupov with the early goal on Ben Bishop in Carolina, apparently. We're peppering the shots on the net on the Carolina Hurricanes. Yakupov, come on. Can someone build up on that goal by Yakupov? Come on, Halifax. Jeff Skinner. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. This is the playoffs on the line. If we lose this, we're out of playoffs. I know it for a fact. Well, yeah, I mean, if we lose this, we're definitely out of playoffs. Come on now, boys. Second period. Here we go. Come on, boys. Get that go-ahead goal. I almost say Carolina. Halifax. 2015 memes coming back at me. Come on, Halifax. Come on, Halifax. Come on. Victor Rask. Come on, boys. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all, Halifax. Come on, don't make me look like a goof. Do not make me look like a goof with that trade. Please, Halifax, get it done. Please, I beg of you. This is the playoffs on the line. Oh, no, Justin Williams. Come on, Halifax. Post something off. Please. No. Oh, wait a minute, Matt Duchene. I was hoping for some last-minute magic, and I think we're out of the playoffs, boys. Oh, my God, that's such a... Oh, man. That sucks. I believe we're out, boys. Yeah, pretty sure. Yep, we're out. There's no chance. Oh, my God. Yep, we're out. Oh, well, I mean... It was a gamble, boys, and unfortunately, the rest of the division was just a little too rough for the Halifax Tugboats. Let's check out the final season stats. Oh my God, that sucks. Oh man, yeah, we're definitely gonna need to make some changes here in the off season. Although I do stand by that trade. That was a good trade because we were able to bolster up that fourth line for at least this year and next year, and we were able to get a toxic defenseman out of here and replace him with Luke Shen. So, I mean, I know, that third defensive pairing took a little bit of a hit, but they are still plus players, which is all that matters at this point. Well, I mean, at this point, the season is over for us, but still, we can feel confident in that pairing going forward. Corpusala, I mean, he didn't do bad, but he didn't do fantastic either. So, I mean, this was all around just a combination of a really competitive Metropolitan division and our first line just not getting it done, man. Like, the first line just, I don't know what happened. They just imploded right from the start of this season and could not get it going at all. Cam Atkinson was the only thing that may have gotten that first line going because Matt Duchene ended off with 46 points. Atkinson even had more points than Duchene, and Atkinson was on the third line for the majority of the year. So I don't know, man. And they're both on the same power play line as well. So it's not like Atkinson had more power play time than Duchene, or Duchene had more power play time than Atkinson. I'm pretty sure they're both on the same power play line. So that's not an excuse. Like, Atkinson had more points than Duchene. That's actually quite sad. Quite sad. I'll exit stage left. Anyway, yeah, that's the season, boys. I don't really know what to say. I mean, that was a close race. I mean, it really was for the two wildcard positions, and we just could not get it done this year. So, yeah, some changes in the offseason are probably needed here. You can expect anyway. And that'll about do it for this episode. And the next one, we will simulate the playoffs and the draft and do all the stuff in the offseason. And I will see you guys in the next one.